Have you ever looked at the world and wondered why something happens the way it does? That curiosity is the heart of science. Scientists don't just accept things as they are. They ask questions, look for patterns, and test their ideas to discover how the world works. But how exactly do they do that? Let's break down how scientists turn a question into an experiment. It all starts with a hypothesis. A hypothesis is an educated guess, what you think will happen and why. We write it like this. If the independent variable, then the dependent variable because reason. For example, if we give a plant more sunlight, then it will grow taller because plants need light to make food. Once you have your hypothesis, it's time to design your investigation. In a fair test, you only change one thing. This is called the independent variable, or the part you change on purpose. In our example, that's the amount of sunlight the plant receives. Next, you'll decide what you're going to measure. This is called the dependent variable because it changes as a result of your experiment. It's the data you collect. In our case, we would measure how tall the plant grows. To make sure your experiment is fair, everything else must stay exactly the same. These are called constants, the things you keep the same in every part of the experiment. For the plant experiment, this would include the type of plant, the soil, the water, and the container. But how can you tell if the change you made really caused a difference? That's where the control group comes in. The control group is the part of the experiment that stays in normal conditions. It doesn't receive the independent variable. In our example, the control group would be a plant that gets regular sunlight. Another important part of scientific experiments is trials. Scientists repeat experiments many times to make sure the results are consistent. If an experiment is replicable, others can repeat it and get similar results. That's how we know our findings are reliable. Let's review. What do we measure? What do we change on purpose? What stays the same? What do we compare our results to? Now that you know the parts of an experiment, you're ready to design your own. It's your turn to think like a scientist.